So, apparently, the Supreme Court is deciding the future of fairness in women's sports now, which is hilarious to me. Because if there's one place I go for guidance on female athletic equality, it's a room full of 70-year-old guys who get winded walking to the bench. These dudes have probably never even been picked last for dodgeball. They were homeschooled by private tutors who did their push ups for them. But here we are. Suddenly, everyone on my timeline is pretending they've been lifelong superfans of girls' high school track and field. People who couldn't name a single WNBA team last week are now tweeting like, "We must protect the integrity of the 400-meter dash at Lincoln County High." Oh, now you care? Where were you when that same girls' team was washing cars in the rain just to afford gas for the bus? Where were you when they were wearing uniforms from 2014? You didn't care then, but now that there's a culture war to fight, suddenly you're a patron of the arts. And the whole argument is, we need fairness in sports. Fairness in sports. That's like demanding honesty in politics or monogamy in Hollywood. It's a cute idea, but it's not the product. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to admit. Sports are literally built on unfairness. That's the fun part. That is why we watch. We pay money to watch genetic lottery winners stomp on regular people. That's the product. If sports were actually fair, nobody would watch. It would just be a bunch of 5'9" guys with average metabolisms jogging in a circle getting tired. That's not the NBA, that's a charity 5K. Think about your favorite athlete, Michael Phelps. The guy is a superhero designed by a drunk god with a swim fetish. He has a wingspan wider than his height, double-jointed ankles, and lungs like an industrial air mattress. He produces half the lactic acid of a normal human. If some dude like that showed up at your local YMCA swim meet, you wouldn't be like, "Wow, what fair competition." You'd be like, "Okay, so this is a shark in a Speedo. This is a biological weapon." But nobody ever said, "Hold up, this isn't fair to all the short-armed kids with asthma." No one tried to pass the Protection of Average Swimmers Act. We just said, "Damn, that guy's a freak of nature," and gave him 8 gold medals and a Wheaties box. We don't care about a level playing field. We care about freaks. That's the whole deal. Sports is a freak show with sneaker deals. So why is this specific biological advantage the only one we care about? Why is a high testosterone level cheating, but being born 7'4" is just a gift from God? If you really wanted fairness, basketball hoops would be adjusted based on your height. Sorry, LeBron, you gotta shoot from the parking lot. It's only fair to the short kings. Let's be honest. Fairness is just a costume people put on over their actual feelings. Because if we genuinely cared about fairness, we wouldn't be looking at hormones. We'd be looking at zip codes. Try putting a Supreme Court case together about travel teams that cost 10 grand a year. Try banning private coaches for kids whose parents own a dealership. You think little Jessica from the trailer park and Olivia with the Peloton room are playing the same sport? They're not even living in the same reality. Picture 2 girls, one has a nutritionist, strength coach, private club, flies to tournaments in Florida. The other is eating gas station taquitos and sharing one pair of cleats with her sister, and we're sitting here screaming, "Okay, but that one person's testosterone level, that's the real threat." No. The threat to fairness is that one kid is playing soccer and the other is playing try not to get evicted. But we don't want to talk about that unfairness, because that unfairness benefits the people watching this video. We like that kind of unfairness. We like the kind where money buys wins. That feels like America. Every time I hear, "We're just trying to protect opportunities for girls," I want to ask, "Cool, so you voted for more funding for girls' sports? You bought season tickets to the women's soccer team? No? You just repost memes with sunsets and Bible quotes? Got it. You're not protecting girls. You're protecting your comfort. You're protecting your idea of what a winner is supposed to look like. Blonde ponytail, college scholarship, crying parents in the stands filming on iPhones. That's the movie you want to watch. Women's sports has been ignored for decades. Empty bleachers, no TV coverage, jerseys nobody buys. But the second it becomes useful in a culture war, suddenly every angry uncle is a Title IX historian. I just care about women's athletics. Dude, you didn't even care about women, period, for 40 years? Now you're out here pretending you cried during the 1999 Women's World Cup? Please. And let's not let the other side off the hook. You've got people using these athletes as human billboards for their own ideology. You're not allowed to question anything ever or you're canceled. They don't care about the kid on the track either. They care about winning the hashtag war. So the actual human being in the middle, the trans kid, the girl who got second place, they are just roadkill on the highway of everybody else's agenda. Here's the dark, funny truth about all of this. We need it to be unfair. Fairness is boring. Imagine a world where everyone's exactly the same speed, same strength, same training. The Olympics would be a bunch of identical times, and they'd decide medals by who had the best personality. We don't want that. We want domination. We want blowouts. We want someone so good it feels inhuman, as long as they make sense to us. So what are we actually doing when we scream about fairness in women's sports? We're not defending fairness. We're defending a story about who is allowed to be the hero and who has to stay in the background. We're gatekeeping the spotlight. We're saying, we want our freaks, not your freaks. Our advantages are inspiring. Yours are cheating. If you really gave a damn about women's sports, you'd give them money, coverage, medical care, and respect, no matter who's playing. You'd protect girls from abusive coaches, predatory doctors, and a system that chews them up and spits them out by age 25. But that's hard work. That would force us to admit the whole machine is broken. So instead, we pick this one fight. We pretend it's about fairness, and we ignore the mountain of unfairness we stand on every single day. Just do me a favor. Don't sell me fairness. Just admit you like your circus a certain way, and you're mad someone new showed up to the freak show.